Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at a very defensive piece of equipment known as Kira's Guardian. Kira's Guardian is quite honestly probably one of the most defensive pieces of equipment you'll ever see. It does unfortunately have quite a few variables, and this is not really the best, especially when you find this in a very poor state. It's still a very powerful item, even in its poorest state, but I feel like most people who, if they're trying to utilize this item, are probably looking for it in one of its more complete states. So Kira's Guardian is a Tiara, and it has 170 defense, which is thanks to the mechanics on it. It also has a level requirement of 77 with no requirement of stats. It is 20% faster hit recovery, which is very, very nice to have on any kind of defensive piece of equipment. We have 120 added to defense, which does vary from 50 to 120. And then we also have all resistances of 50 to 70. So a pretty wide variance there of 50 to 60, 60 to 70, literally 20 all-res points of difference. I mean, if you think about Mara's Kaleidoscope only has 30 all-res on it. And the variance on Mara's is like 20 to 30. This one has literally double the variance of Mara's, and it is unfortunate because a lot of the times you won't find it with very nice resistances. It also has cannot be frozen on it, which is just absolutely excellent. A lot of people will utilize this on a mercenary specifically to give them all the resistances and everything that they need. A very good two-piece combo that you can do on a mercenary is an Ethereal Kira's Guardian, which has 195 defense, by the way, combined with an Ethereal Guardian Angel Hellforge plate. And what you do is you put these two on them together, and the combination of the cannot be frozen, the all resistances, the faster hit recovery, and as well as the maximum resistances on the armor will make just an absolutely excellent, super tanky mercenary, which can stand up to some of the most ridiculous damage that the Council has to offer. Now, I do believe that this one can be upgraded. I'm not 100% sure on this, actually, because I don't think I've ever actually tried to upgrade a Kira's Guardian. But I'm pretty sure if you did, it would be a Lem and a Co. And we're going to go ahead and grab some Lems and some Co's, and we're going to get this upgraded. So we also need some Perfect Diamonds. And let's see if we can do an upgrade. So this one's going to go from 170 defense, level 77, to a Diadem, which is 174 defense, level 84. I don't believe there was much of an increase there. We do get a graphical change, though. So I suppose if specifically you wanted a graphical change, that could be interesting. So as you can see, the graphics on this particular one, you know what, let's go to the menu here. Because we're looking at, this is fashion Diablo, okay? So that is how the Kira's Guardian looks, right there. And if we go back into the game and change to the Diadem, you'll see that the Diadem version that we have upgraded has a much, much different look to it in general. So let me go ahead and swap. And we'll go back to the screen, and now you'll see that I'll be wearing the Diadem. So I guess specifically, if you wanted to change the look of the item, that could definitely be an interesting little upgrade there. Definitely doesn't really do a lot for the defense. Upgrades the level requirement quite a lot for seemingly no reason. And let's try the ethereal version, shall we? So 195 defense, level 77. To 207 defense, level 84. I also noticed that it seemed to bring down the durability. I'm pretty sure it brought the durability down by 5. So we lost 5 durability by going to the Diadem. Very interesting. Now, if you wanted to find this particular item, which a lot of people actually do like to get their hands on a nice Kira's Guardian, you're going to have to hunt for it. So let's go over to Silo's Pen real quick, and we'll take a look, and we'll see where we could potentially get this item to drop from. So I've got the Kira's Guardian here, and we're going to choose bosses first, and I'm going to assume 150% magic find with players 1. And we have here a pretty good chance off of Quest, Diablo, and Bale and Mephisto, but that's not what we're looking for. So we got Diablo at 1 in 1,188, Bale at 1 in 1,1200, and Mephisto at 1 in 1,400. That's very interesting there, and also Neelathak 1 in 9,000. Let's go to the super uniques, and let's see what we've got for super uniques. So we got Neelathak again, Battlemate Serena in the Ruined Temple. Icehawk Woodfring, she's in the sewers, not really easy to get to. Bonebreaker in the Crypt, he's relatively easy to farm. You could very easily do him. He's right there next to Bloodraven. Let's see here. Coldworm the Burrower, a lot of these guys are not easy to come by. Grand Visor of Chaos, Infector of Souls, Lord DCs. Those, obviously, if you're on your way to kill Diablo, those are relatively easy to get to. Frozenstein is not easy to get to, but I have noticed that he tends to drop a lot of items. It might be worth a foray into the Crystalline Passage and Frozen River to get to him. Pindleskin can drop it at 1 in 14,277. We also have the Durance of Hate level 3, so all of the Mephisto's minions have a chance to drop this. So Brim Sparkfist, Mayfor Dragonhand, Wyand Voidbringer, as well as the Council has a pretty good chance of dropping this. So Geleb, Flamefinger, Ishmael, Filehand, and Torque, Icefist. And then also all of the monsters in Throne of Destruction that Bale spawns. So Akmel the Curse, Bartek the Bloody, very interesting. All in all, I think this is one of those items that's probably not going to drop from a lot of very specific areas that are lower level. In fact, I'm looking at the list here, and I'm seeing level 85 zone, 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 level 85 zone. These are all pretty much level 85 zones. So you're probably only going to find this in level 85 zones. Now, it is important to note that in 2.4, there's going to be a lot more level 85 zones for you to farm. So maybe you'll have a better luck. All in all, Kira's Guardian is one of those very interesting pieces of equipment that kind of works on anybody. I usually like to keep one in my stash, and the reason why is because there's always situations where my resistances might not be enough. Maybe I'm going in to fight the Ubers, and I want to overprotect myself. Maybe my resistances are absolutely just fine, but when you go up against Mephisto, and he has this massive negative resistance coming from Conviction, if you toss on a 70 all-res Kira's Diadem, it absolutely fixes all of your resistance problems, even if you're under the effects of Conviction. And I also really like the fact that it has Cannot Be Frozen as well, and it can work very well into certain builds. Definitely very good for mercenaries, and honestly, just a very solid all-around nice Tiara. Now, the really cool thing about this is you can socket it, and you can throw something else in there. So what would you throw in there? Well, you could stack up the resistances even more. You could go from all 70 to, what is that, 8, is it 15 on a Umrune? So you could go from 70 to 85. You could also find a very, very rare 15% IAS, 15 all-res Jewel, and you could put that in there, and you would have nice 15% increased attack speed along with 15 all resistances. And just in general, I mean, it's just a very nice helmet, a very defensive helmet. It's not going to help you offensively, but it will open up a lot of alternatives. You have to think about it like this. If I'm wearing a Kira's Guardian, and it has 70 all resistances, it has Cannot Be Frozen, I don't necessarily need a Ravenfrost, I don't necessarily need a Trangul's Belt, I don't necessarily need a Cham Rune in something. You know, if I'm rocking the 20% fast hit recovery and the all resistance is 70, I might be in a situation where I could go with a lower resistance shield. Maybe I'm specifically trying to build like a 3-socket Headhunter's Glory with 15% increased attack speed jewels in it or something. Maybe my equipment that for my chosen build is just not giving me enough resistances, and I plop this on to fix them. Whatever it may be, Kira's Guardian just happens to be just an amazing defensive piece of equipment that you can just keep in your stash and utilize as needed. And I often feel like sometimes I just want to be lazy, and I just want to throw Kira's Guardian on and not have to worry about min-maxing all the stats. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we are talking about a Tiara which upgrades to a Diadem, which changes the graphic. It's kind of silly. As always, keep watching.